Hello everyone, this is the Pressure Prince with an Attila tournament cast, and this is going to be the Wolf Birthday Flash tournament. Semi-final match between Orgetorix of Agartha and Balor of Agartha. Again, this is a best of one as it's a Flash tournament. The final, however, is a best of three in this particular game. Though we have Orgetorix as the Ostrogoths and Balor as Western Romans. So let's go a little bit into the detail of the builds. Let's go over the Western Roman one first. That is the build. That is what Balor chose. So he has, let's see, Magister Meltem Bronze 1 with Brace. He has up front looks like 4 of these Funditores with 3 Mattiari. No, make that 2 Mattiari and a Noble Federati Javelinman. He also has, let's see, an interesting infantry contingent. Well, we have a lot of Army Gary Defensores, 6 of those. 5 silver 1 it seems, and 1 silver 2. Then we have a single crossbow unit, it's an elite Ballistari. We also see 4 Equites Promoti, 2 bronze 1 on each flank, and the last Equites Promoti in the center with his Magister Meltem General. Now for Orgetorix, who is the Ostrogoths, he has the, let's see, where's his general? It's a Royal Sionis, as usual, with Brace. He does have a decent cavalry contingent as well. Looks like 3 Noble Germanic Horsemen and 2 Germanic Lancers. Up front we see, looks like a Germanic Hurler on each flank and 3 Germanic Archers in the center, with a Germanic Spearman. Right behind those, we have 2 Gothic Palatina Defectors, and on each flank, Thracian Oathsworn with Gothic Palatina Defector on the right, that is. On the left, though, we have Gothic Foxmen with a Thracian Oathsworn and a Gothic Palatina Defector. So let's hit fast forward and watch this battle start. But as you can see, definitely a lot more skirmish power for this Western Roman build. Looks like the Germanic Spearmen are going to get into the Funditores here. And you can already see these Germanic archers firing into these Noble Federati Javelinmen and actually doing damage to the Army Gary Defensores as well. But these hurlers here are going to trade well against the Germanic hurlers. It's 2 against 1, as you can see. Now the Spearman is going to run back, though. It was just trying to engage the Funditores, but now the Spearman is getting hit in the rear and it is slower, so Army Gary might catch up to it, but it doesn't matter because there's a Gothic Palatina Defector over there as well. No engagements happening at all. Over here you can see the Germanic Hurler indeed losing to 2 Funditores, but now this Funditores is actually targeting the Gothic Palatina Defectors. And actually it's not a bad idea because it's firing at its weak side, so doing a ton of damage. And now it's pulling back, exposing its rear, gonna get shot even more. We even have the Noble Federati Javelinmen pushing up, but now they're getting targeted. And as you can see, they have a pretty poor missile block chance. Decent armor though, but still it's not gonna save them against these Germanic archers, as you can see. I mean, this focused fire is going to start dropping them quickly. Down to 70 right now, but they're doing a decent chunk of damage, but I mean, already they're going to die here. You can see there's an engagement here. Army Gary Defensor is going to engage these Germanic Spearmen. Very nicely done. I mean, the Germanic Spearmen here are just going to die, but these skirmishers need to be pulled back. Again, this Noble Federati Javelinman not really paying for itself. Nice scav charge over here, though. Should do a lot of damage. Hitting the rear of 2 of these Gothic Palatina Defectors. Very well done. Should get a lot of kills. Now with the follow-up, this might go well, but there's not much of a follow-up. Here you can see the Equites Promoti pulling back as well. And there really isn't much of a follow-up except for 1 Army Gary Defensores, which might be enough actually, because there's not much of a follow-up here either. But here comes a nice Royal Sionis charge into these Army Gary Defensores. A very, very nice charge, but this Royal Sionis should pull out of this engagement before the Javelins destroy it though. Otherwise, yeah, it's gonna go down very quickly to this Mattiari unit. The Royal Sionis, that is. Nice Germanic Lancer cav charge into these Equites Promoti. It looks like the Equites Promoti here gonna get a nice charge, as this Equites Promoti does stop the enemy unit. Army Gary Defensor is pushing through the center of the Ostrogoths, but the right flank is not looking good at all for the Western Romans over here, as you can see. This cavalry unit trying to go for these Gothic Palatina Defectors and Thracian Oathsworns might do very well, but it looks like it might get intercepted. kind of, but still does make it into Gothic Palatino defectors. Here, this Noble Germanic Horseman is going to be instrumental for the Ostrogoths, but this flank is just going to die for the Western Romans. This Royal Sionis, if it dies, it could be very, very bad for the Ostrogoths. But here, as you can see, this Equitus Primoti just going to have no chance against this Gothic Palatino defector with the Noble Germanic Horseman. I mean, no infantry support in these engagements, which is a problem for the Western Romans. And these army Gary will not do great against all these Thracian Oathsworn and Gothic Falksmen. Again, the left flank not going well for the Western Romans as well. Now they're losing a lot of cavalry to these Gothic Palatino defectors. And over here, as you can see, the Royal Sionis general is going to end up dying, which is going to be huge. Looks like the general is dead for the Ostrogoths. This is very important. And now it's going to be off the field, which is very, very good for the Western Romans. If they can start a chain route now, this would be very important. Very nice rear charge here, but these units, if the Ostrogoths units just chain routed over here, it would be great. Now the general for the Western Romans, Magister Militum, should destroy this Noble Germanic Horseman. But this Gothic Palatino defector going to be so important over there. The crossbow of the Western Romans being pulled back, but it's already taken a lot of damage. Over here, though, as you can see, it looks like that cav unit is going to go off the field. It is exhausted and routing. But now these Thracian Oathsworns and Gothic Palatino defectors should mop up the army Gary. These army Gary are just not going to do well here in this melee. Germanic Archer here should lose the melee, but nice Magister Militum charge into this Germanic Archer should destroy, but at this point, wow, nicely done here with the Magyari, just destroying that Noble Germanic Horseman as well. But now there's this Gothic Palatino defector, which is not really getting routed off the field. The crossbow is still on the field, though, for the Western Romans. It's just that the cavalry unit is going to do a lot of damage with a rear charge against these army Gary. Nicely done here, though, by the Western Romans, pushing this Germanic Archer off the field. And again, still the general is alive for the Western Romans. If it goes for a rear charge onto these Thracian Oathsworns, it could be just what he needed. Looks like he is going to go for a rear charge. This could do a lot of damage, but the charge was kind of stopped by this Noble Germanic Horseman. So very well done by the Ostrogoths. Now a lot more units pouring in for the Western Romans. We need to see the Magister Militum popping brace, but doesn't seem like that is the case. And again, this flank over here not looking good for the Western Romans. The crossbow unit is still behind. I don't know why it's not being sent in. But looks like this Thracian Oathsworn might just die to the next cav charge. However, this unit here, the Gothic Palatino defectors, looks like they may not do so well against the army Gary. We need to see another cav charge with the Magister Militum against this Thracian Oathsworn. It's probably going to rout it. But on this side, though, the Gothic Palatino defectors and Thracian Oathsworn are still on the field. Here, the Gothic Palatino defectors did rout off the field, so this is very important. This cav charge did not seem so great by the Magister Militum, actually. He didn't really do too much damage. Thracian Oathsworn still on the field, though. This is huge. The Romans have to target this unit. Oh, you do not want to send the Magister Militum in there. Has to be pulled back. Now it looks like this Thracian Oathsworn is still on the field. The crossbow unit has... I mean, it's not really doing anything right now. Just... It was completely forgotten by the Western Romans for, like, the most of the battle. Which was, I think... If he had it in this fight, it would have done so much damage here. Still a very close game, and I mean, it's still not over yet. It looks like these units are just going to be... Oh, he needs to pull back the Ballistari before they actually die. Looks like they're gonna potentially get charged by the Thracian Oathsworns. Thracian Oathsworns have charge speed activated and rapid advance, so... they might get in there quickly. Oh, I don't know why the Ballistari stopped here. Looks like they're gonna continue going forward. Slingers here, we're trying to annoy the Thracian Oathsworns. Nicely done here with the Magyari. He's kind of stopping the Thracian Oathsworns, allowing the Ballistari to pull back. But looks like some of the Ballistari do get left behind, and now the Ballistari, if it routes, it's going to be over. But the Oathsworns do get an extra charge speed into the Ballistari. They rout the Ballistari, they rout the Magyari, and now it should be hugely in favor of the Ostrogoths. But this charge is going to decimate this entire Thracian Oathsworn. But Thracian Oathsworn is still alive, though. Still alive and well, but this Magister Militum could just win the game for the Western Romans. If it goes for a cav charge on this Thracian Oathsworn, it could just be destroyed. But he may just want to destroy this other Thracian Oathsworn instead. I mean, this is going to be a rough one for the Western Romans. We need to see the Magister Militum here just stop and regain its fatigue. Looks like the Thracian Oathsworn here also doing a similar thing. Yeah, it appears that the Ostrogoths are trying to make sure that both Oathsworns are in supporting range. And this is something that the Western Romans have to prevent. This unit might get rear charged, but now here it comes with this Manchester Militum is a bit far away. I don't think. Is he gonna make it? Ooh, looks like he is gonna get a charge off under the Thracian Oathsworn, but this Thracian Oathsworn is in very close proximity. It's gonna come in, and I think this is. I think the Romans are going to lose this. The Manchester Militum dies for certain. Oh, this Thracian Oathsworn does not want to die, and now this army Gary could be destroyed. We need to see a cav charge by the Manchester Militum. Looks like here comes the cav charge. The cav charge from the Manchester Militum into the Thracian Oathsworn. Lots of damage done on the charge, but is it enough? Is it enough? He's going to disengage again. Army Gary still on the field, fighting against Thracian Oathsworn. Just a couple of Thracian Oathsworns left on the field here. Just 2 Thracian Oathsworns. Looks like they're going to end up routing. And that is the case. I think this should be game right now. There we go. So the Western Romans take the game. Very, very, very close game between Balor and Orgetorix of Gartha. These Thracian Oathsworn did so well for Orgetorix, as you can see there. What a close game. As you can see, the Army Gary did not do too terribly, considering their price. They're actually fairly decent units, but wow, like Balor actually pulled it off with the Mariari, very nicely done, and the Noble Federati Javelin Men. Those by Star did not really do enough, though. They were kind of wasted. But yeah, that is match. So hope you all enjoyed. If you want to see more, don't forget to comment and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Share the video, and I shall see you next time.